official NBA Finals predictions. Can I read you some before we go through you guys?
Sure.
For the 9-0-3, Mavs in 6. Not afraid of Jason Harden. Oh, I mean Tatum. But Brown and Horford are concerns of mine. From the 9-4-5, Drake bet on the Mavs, so Celtics will win in 4. From the 8-1-7, Mavs in 6. Been saying that since the beginning. From the 5-1-2, you know what? This is interesting, and we need to address this really quick, Mike.
Okay.
Mavs in 6, Celtics win, and then Mavs, Celtics, and they close it out in the Garden. They don't do the NBA Finals like that anymore. They don't go 2-3-2.
Yes, it's
2-2-1-1-1.
When did this change?
I honestly don't know. In COVID, they just had it in one place. They just said Orlando.
Yeah, just show up whenever.
But I can't remember what year. But obviously, if you're a Mavs fan in 2011, you remember it being 2-3-2. I don't know what year it changed, but it has changed. So you're going to go 2 and then 2 here at home.
Yes.
And then it's just like all the other playoff series.
So if you were to win in 6, that would be at the AAC. From the 8-1-7, Celtics in 5. And from the 9-7-2, Mavs in 7. What say y'all?
You want me to go first?
Go ahead, Mike.
I have changed from Mavs in 6 to Mavs in 7.
Oh, my gosh. Why? Peter.
I'm going to be honest. I was wrong the last 2 rounds. I picked Oklahoma City in 7 and Minnesota in 7.
I kind of wish you'd pick Boston in 7.
So here's the deal. I did believe that. I wasn't just making it up.
Oh, I know.
So I could do that. I could just say, let me just keep picking Boston in 7. I could see Boston winning this series. I really could. But I do feel like the Mavs are going to win this championship. So I am struggling between 6 and 7. I do think that it's going to be a Celtics win tonight. I hope I'm wrong, but I do think the Celtics are going to win tonight. For some reason, the Mavs usually don't play that good on game ones.
Yes.
Or in game ones. And then make adjustments to usually win game 2. Usually. We've seen them against Phoenix, where Phoenix looked like a way better team. They won the first 2 games in Phoenix and kind of blew out the Mavs. And I know this is 2022. Then the Mavs are able to make it a series and then get it to a 7th game and win it all. I don't think they're going to blow out the Celtics like they blew out Phoenix in Game 7. But I could see that series happening again, but now against the Celtics in a much closer Game 7.
Now, Corey, I was going to ask for your prediction, but I think there is one more piece of evidence you need to hear before you make your prediction. If we can go to the official Dallas Mavericks hype video for this starring Mr. Patrick Mahomes, maybe this will change your opinion.
The finals. There's only one thing in the way now, and it's not the opponent. It's the willingness to sacrifice everything, because the greatest competition is you. If you don't believe in winning this title, you shouldn't be here. You know what it costs to get this far. Every moment of your life has led you to this. And if you want to hold that trophy, it will cost a lot more.
We're going to carry the boat.
Nobody expected the Mavs. Nobody wanted the Mavs. But nobody can deny that you've earned it. Earned the respect of the league. Earned a place at the table. And earned the opportunity to bring Larry back to Dallas. Like the ones before, you're a different breed. Defiant and unexpected. Unlike anything we've ever seen. Truly a Maverick. One for all, one for Dallas. Let's get it.
I want to point out a couple things there. One,
is it that very last part sounds totally dubbed over?
Let's get it.
Can you play like that last 5 seconds? It sounds like somebody just dubbed in that last part. Was that Alec?
One for all, one for Dallas. Let's get it.
Like, it sounded like he was like, hey, you know who's going to be in the NBA Finals? And it's an animation, and they're like, the Dallas Mavericks, while closing up their mouths.
I will say this. There
That's
are a couple,
awesome. Thank you, Patty.
Yes.
And thank you to Big X the Plug for that one, man. That beat, that song is fantastic. That's going to be on loop for me, by the way. I'll have that on loop for sure. But I'll also be tuning in, making sure I'm listening to Reggie tonight, because Reggie's out of Mansfield. Reggie's also going to be doing halftime show and post, and he'll be hosting you throughout the entire evening. So make sure you're locked in with him as well. But Kevin, the line, nobody expected the Mavericks. nobody wanted the Mavericks.
I like that.
That was really solid right there because you're right. To start the season, nobody was like Mavs. And if you were, man, you're a diehard fan. I really appreciate it. But we were looking at this team going, there's so much they have to accomplish. And they're a different team. Like, you can't say, oh, yeah, I knew Dwight Powell. He's not part of it. THJ's not part of this right now.
Grant Williams isn't part of this.
Yeah. So what they are now is completely different. But you're right. Going into the playoffs, everybody was saying nobody wants the Mavericks. They're the scary team. They're like, they're the one that I could see. Like, you kept hearing that over and over. Why did they go with Patrick Mahomes?
Well, he's a huge Mavericks fan. He's been front row for quite a few regular season games. He was there for a few playoff games so far.
He knows how to win.
He's the champion.
I would like it. Doesn't it feel like maybe NBA would have gone, hey, what about Dak Prescott or something like that? But instead they went with Patrick Mahomes.
I'm fine
who,
with
like
the
you
selection
said,
they made.
From here has won championships. You've seen him right there. He'll probably be front row for maybe 1 or 2 finals games along the way.
The other thing too is he's very current. Because let's just say you went with Troy Aikman. I mean, I know Troy might go to a game here and there, but he's not a diehard, Dallas Maverick fan. He lives here. I'm sure he's kind of like, hey, it's great if the Mavs win, but it's not like my team. I didn't grow up with that team. Patrick Mahomes has talked about, I grew up with the Mavs. I was a big Dirk, Nash, Finley guy. That's when I got my father playing for the Rangers would take me to these Mavs games, and that's when I fell in love with the NBA and fell in love with the Dallas Mavericks. So he's a true Dallas Maverick fan. Nothing against Dak Prescott on this.
Not at all.
Dak's not a Dallas Maverick fan. He doesn't really care. I'm sure he wants them to win. It's cool if they win. He didn't grow up a Mavs fan. He didn't grow up a Dirk fan. He's just like the NBA. Hell, as far as we know, and I honestly don't know this, he might have a really good relationship with Jason Tatum or whatever and be like, I don't mind if Jason Tatum wins. It'd be great for Jason Tatum. I'm sure Patrick Mahomes will feel a little bit of heartbreak if the Mavs don't win this. He's not going to be like, I hate the Celtics. Maybe he will. That'd be awesome. But but I'm sure he's going to feel some heartbreak with us if we don't win it. He's going to feel the pure joy of being a fan of a team from a childhood perspective till now, and they win it. And then if they win it all, he's going to feel that joy as a fan.
He'll be on one of those floats too, getting hammered with the guys. So he likes to do that. I really liked it a lot. I know it like.
You think Swift will be at one of the games?
Well, I was just going to say, do you know who wrote that script for him?
Taylor Swift.
Travis Kelce.
You think Travis Kelce can write?
What? Yes.
Come on, bro. No, I'm just I don't know. I don't know who wrote it for him.
Yeah.
Feels like something Kai might have wrote.
Probably the Mavs PR.
Yeah, there you go. That's probably a better option there.
That makes sense.
All right, Kevin, I have predicted every single round correctly. I said Mavs in 6 in the first one. I said Mavs in 6 in the second round. And I said Mavs in 6 in the Western Conference Finals. And here we are with the Mavs.
Not what happened.
What happened in the first two? What happened in the first two?
Those two happened.
What happened in the Western Conference Finals?
They won.
They won is all you need to know right there,
Okay.
Kevin. And I am predicting.
Okay.
You made it sound like you were so great at predicting the first two rounds. You got the games
I missed
right.
by one game
At what
in
point
one of the series.
Did you pick
You can only miss
Minnesota to win in 7?
by a
For the Western
maximum
I
of
changed my
5.
mind. Don't forget that. I said, actually, I did say Mavs in 7. After I came back and changed my mind, I couldn't pick against them.
But I'm still going to put it. I'm going to trust
2
your
games.
prediction.
Mavs in 6.
Okay.
They win it at home.
I like it.
They win game 1 tonight.
Ooh.
That's game 1 is tonight.
Yes, that is true.
They win
Everybody
game
knows that.
2.
Oh my gosh.
Then they rest.
Yeah, what the crap's happening? If we win the first 2 and we win in 6, I'll be still super happy.
Yeah.
What happened?
They're kind of tired.
Yeah.
Well, unless, because I was listening to G-Bag yesterday, and Broadus is damn right about this. We got to figure out, because Broadus just kept going on about, we're not good at home. We don't play well at home for whatever reason.
We need to get Lucas Sucks shirts
We
for
need
Dallas.
to boo Luka
Yes.
whenever they come back.
Get Chandler Parsons out
We
there.
need
and
to
he'll be
get
like,
some
"Stupid
our
jerk."
best trolls to sit somewhere within earshot of Luka and just troll the crap out of him, so he has somebody that's not rooting for him in that arena.
That feels like a job for me. Hey, Luca, you finished third in MVP. Finally, you're the top 3.
Let's get Kevin front row.
Yeah, man.
Would you really root against
Hell
Luka?
yeah. If it meant we were going to win, you're damn right I would.
So I'm 99% sure, because training camp, you had it earlier in Gridiron Gravy. I was going to call it Football Nuggets.
Yes.
But that Kansas City had to stop there.
Yep.
So it's over, but a week from now is when the Mavericks play here. 99% chance Patrick Mahomes will be there for either game 3 or game 4 or both, right?
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he did that, and then he's also going to be there totally and completely rooting on the Dallas Mavericks. I have this question. The opposite is Tom Brady in Boston. Now, he didn't grow up a Boston Celtics fan
He'll be in
at
a
all.
suite.
You don't think he'll be like front row Joe?
He'll be in a suite somewhere.
I could see that. I think you're probably right about that.
And I do wonder. I have no clue what the entrance for front row like that is for a guy like Mahomes. If he has a lot of security that helps him get to that place, where they come in at.
He gets to park underneath the stadium and everything, so they make sure that
Ooh,
he's
like the players.
I
he's
just feel
very
like-
protected.
I feel
in
like with
that.
Brady, it would be too much of a chaos for him to be that in
What
front row.
if?
I don't know. Maybe
what
I'm wrong.
if? And I don't think she would do this, but Travis Kelce came to one of these games.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's going to be here at an NBA Finals game or not. Probably he's not a Maverick fan. He's a Patrick Mahomes friend. Do you think that if Taylor Swift,
She can't.
she has to be in a suite?
She's
right?
in the United Kingdom right now.
But she would have to be in a suite.
She's in Edinburgh
Putting another shrimp on the
until
barbie.
putting another shrimp.
not-
Hold on, when would they be back here, Kevin? When would they be here?
Is it Wednesday and Friday?
Yes.
What date is that? June
12th and 14th.
Yeah,
you go.
that would be. She's in Liverpool. Sorry, she's not. She's got 4 consecutive nights or 3 consecutive
I'm
nights.
not
in
a fan
Liverpool.
of liver.
What about pools?
Dude, have you ever had fried
I am a
chicken
fan.
livers, fried liver and
We're
gizzards?
We're
Oh
gonna
my
get back to
gosh.
that. A lot of people have sent in their predictions.
All
The
right.
469. Mavs in 7. Luka wins 1 on his own. Kyrie wins 1 on his own. From the 214. Celtics in 5. Who cares about the path they took to get there? They're the better team, and it's their time. Excuse me. From the 682. Mavs in 5. From the 972. Mavs lose game 1, but win the series 4-2. From the 940. This, I definitely understand the logic behind this. Celtics in 6. Everyone's talking about Tatum and Brown. I think the series will be won by Boston's role players, especially their three-point shooting. Like, if you classify everyone beyond Tatum and Brown as a role player, I agree with that 1,000,000% in terms of the role players will win you the series.
Can I ask this question based off of that fan text? How easy or difficult will it be for the Celtics to win a game or the series if Tatum is inconsistent?
I think it'll be really tough.
Yeah, absolutely. They look to him first. He's their first guy. They would have to look elsewhere first if he's in. Would they look elsewhere first if he's inconsistent, or would they if he's just completely bad?
No, they
would
go to Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just don't think that that's going to be a carry that the entire time.
Now, these are the questions I'm here for. What's the payout if I put $5 down on the Mavs in 4? Payout for that, 25-1 on your money. So you get $125, a sweet, sweet profit right there. From the 254, Mavericks in 5. From the 682, Celtics in 5. It's interesting. There's a lot bolder predictions. I see a lot of predictions of 4 and 5, and I'm going to say Mavs in 7. I will admit I would be surprised if this is a short series. But to be fair, I was surprised that Dallas just wiped the floor with Minnesota. I picked Dallas to win, but I did not think that they would jump out to 3-0 lead and just crush them.
And that might be a thing too, Mike. We've talked about how Boston really hasn't had supreme competition. What Minnesota went through over Denver was kind of a mental and emotional letdown, or come back down to earth. And I think they were kind of gassed after it. And Boston hasn't had that moment yet. I'm very surprised, too, the way the Mavs did it to them. And I'm trying to decide if it was Minnesota had achieved the goal. Like, they beat the champs. We just beat the champs, dude.
Yeah.
And then they had nothing left. Or if Dallas is just still on this wave that's building and building and building, and they're that good.
I can compare a little bit of what Minnesota did to the Texas Rangers of 2010 when the Rangers beat the defending champion New York Yankees to make it to the World Series. Now, a little bit different because Minnesota did not make it to the NBA Finals. It was like the Rangers, in a way, I think if we talked to Derek Holland and Michael Young, we're like, we did it. I've talked to them kind of before, not just them specifically, but it was a little bit of like, oh yeah, there's the World Series too. It's like, we did it, first team ever, World Series. We beat the freaking Yankees,
It doesn't feel like that in this instance, though, right?
Right, I don't think so. But I think for Minnesota possibly beating Denver, that's where they got to like, oh crap, we're down 2-0, man. Like, and then they got down 3-0, and they're like, crap, like we are high of beating the champs, us not supposed to be beating them, especially after getting down 3-2. Was like, oh crap, they found themselves in a hole that they couldn't overcome.
I kind of want to dive into this with Danny Green. We're going to have him on at 1:20. What is your mindset, or how difficult is it to handle when your entire season has been building to this? And I mean specifically for the Celtics. Because I get the idea of any pro team is like, let's go win the championship. But for the Celtics, big chunks of their season have felt completely irrelevant until they get back to this spot. That has not been the case for the Mavs at all. So I wonder, like, now that they're there, what is the makeup of the roster that's like, you're damn right, let's go do this, versus, okay, don't be nervous, don't be nervous, don't be nervous. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I think that it's a little bit too extreme to kind of, and I get what you're doing, like, don't be nervous, don't be nervous. They are 76-20 since losing to Minnesota last year in the playoffs. So, I mean, they have, to your point, like, this is not, they're not Dallas Mavericks where we are so excited to be there. The Celtics are like, you better win or we might have to blow up Tatum and Brown. If the Mavs lose,
in terms of team distribution,
I will give you worst case scenario. If the Mavs get swept, and I don't think they will, we are not going to have discussions on here on the Fan, and I believe anywhere in the Metroplex that, well, Luka and Kyrie don't work.
Agreed.
That will not be a discussion here. If the Mavs beat the Celtics in 7 games and Luka hits or Kyrie hits a last-second shot to win the NBA Finals, the talk in Boston, the talk in the media will be Tatum and Brown don't work.
Yep.